Good morning, class. Today I wanted to do a video to introduce the exponential growth formula rather than just do slides. This formula is not that hard to use, but I want to make sure that you understand what each component of the formula means. So we're talking about exponential growth. So that means we're going to have this original amount and it's going to grow by a certain percentage over a period of time. Well, as that amount grows, it increases, and then when it grows again, the increased amount increases, and so that's why we need the formula. So if we look at the formula, it's a little bit different than what's in the book. We see A equals P times the quantity 1 plus R, and that's raised to the T power. A is going to be our final amount. That's going to be after our allotted time is completed. That's going to be how much our new amount is. P is our principal, or our original amount. That's the amount that we're going to start with. Okay, we multiply that by the quantity 1 plus R. So the 1 is the equivalent of 100%. Keep in mind that when we use this formula, we're going to do it as a decimal. So 100% as a decimal is 1.00 or 1, because 100% of our original amount is just that amount. But then we're going to add R to that 100%. So R is the rate of increase. That's going to be given to us as a percentage, but then we're going to convert it to a decimal. And then when we do that, we're going to be able to use the formula. And T, our exponent, is the amount of time that's gone by. Okay, so we might do this in days. We could do it in weeks, months, years. It all depends, but it's going to be an equal amount of increments. So weeks, months, years, all take the same amount of time. Okay, so that's what the formula means. Okay, so to use the formula, I want you to go to example 1 on page 432, and we're going to see an example of a radio contest. The radio contest offers a $100 prize at an increase, and if nobody claims the prize on that day, the next day the prize will increase by 2.5%. Now, what radio show would increase something by 2.5%? I don't know. That's why it's a fictitious radio show. Okay, so 2.5% as a decimal. Recall our decimal review where we move the decimal to the left 2 places. So 2.5% becomes 0.025. Okay, and then our time is 10 days. So each day it increases, and that's going to happen 10 times. So we're going to use the formula, we're going to just plug all of our numbers, what we know, into the formula. So when you use a formula to answer a word problem, we have to interpret what each thing is. Okay, so in this case, P is our original amount, and that's what we have to remember. That's the amount that we're starting with. So P equals 100%, or excuse me, $100. Okay, 1 is just 1 because it's 100%. R in this case, like we said, was 2.5% or 0.025. And then we're going to raise that to the T power. So part A of example 1, they asked us to write an expression to solve this problem. So we would get A equals 100 times the quantity 1 plus 0.025 raised to the T power. Now in part B, they ask us to solve it. So we look at part B, and then we're just going to put a 10 in for the T equal 10 days. So that's going to be our exponent to the 10th power. Then we're just going to evaluate this. So we'll plug this into our calculator. Here we have to remember PEMDAS. So we do parentheses, then exponents, then multiplication, division, then addition, subtraction. Well, in this case, we see all we really have is an exponent and multiplication. So we have to do 1.025, oops, sorry about that, raised to the 10th power first. So we're going to plug this into our calculator, 1.025 to the 10th power. That's going to spit out a number, and then we're going to multiply that by 100. So it's probably going to spit out 1.28 times 100 gives us 128.00845. Remember, we're talking about money here, so automatically when we're doing money, we have to round to the nearest hundredth or round to the nearest cent. So 0.008, find your number, which is the 0, look next door, 5 or greater, add 1 more. So that gives us $128.01. So that's how we're going to use the exponential growth formula.